to watch. Frank, it's kind of funny actually. He kind of flies under the radar a little bit because he like came into Magic, but he won 2 limited Grand Prix. Limited Grand Prix don't really get the same notoriety as winning constructed Grand Prix. Then he went away for a little while. Now he's back, and he's back in a big way. He's been doing really well in Grand Prix and really well in SCG Tour events. You're giving that card a long look. I don't understand why you don't know that that's Eternal Scourge.
All right.
Duh.
Duh.
Duh. We can take a look at Eternal Scourge here in just a moment.
Help me out here, man.
Duh. It's a snow-covered mountain. Ooh, the dead giveaway. Wee.
Yeah.
What's going on over here?
Well, it's funny. A lot of decks could just play snow-covered basics for no reason, right?
Yeah, that's the Jim Davis special.
It wouldn't hurt them at all?
Yeah. Eternal Scourge, by the way, 3 mana, 3/3. You may cast it from exile. When Eternal Scourge becomes the target of a spell or ability, an opponent controls, exile Eternal Scourge. You get it? It never dies. It's eternal. Do you get it?
That's
what?
That is a thing.
Yeah.
It's definitely a thing.
Yeah.
Just a 3 mana 3/3 whenever you need it.
Absolutely it is.
You know how often you need a 3 mana 3/3?
I'm not sure.
Not very often.
Not often? Okay. All right. Here's a Boros Charm.
Yeah, while we're joking about Eternal Scourge here, the burn deck is just doing exactly what it wants to do. It's picked off some early damage with its 1-drop, and it's just way out ahead in this game.
Frank will draw a card. You saw a Boros Charm and a couple of hits here with Goblin Guide. In case you're looking for synergies with Eternal Scourge, remove it with your Relic.
Yep.
Cast it. Thanks. Do it again.
Yep.
We have a Scrying Sheets, the reveal.
Frank giving away a lot of value here with all these lands.
There, a Lightning Bolt. There we go. That'll take care of a Goblin Guide.
Ooh, it's a pretty bolt.
Davis Merced, a player I see at a lot of our tournaments. I believe a Chicago area player. Having a heck of a tournament thus far. I know he's a big fan of the Chicago Bulls, which is a tough thing to be right now. That's tough.
Sports, you get a lot of ups and downs in sports.
That's tough right now. Trade their best player for me and you. You and I are members of the Chicago Bulls now.
I don't like our chances.
No, I don't like their chances. I like their chances. I'm not a huge fan of Davis Merced's chances in this game right now, so Rift Bolt is on suspend. But he'll play an Eternal Scourge, and he'll pass the turn back.
Yeah, the Shred Red deck just doesn't have a proactive enough game plan to put any pressure on the burn deck. So even with a slower start, even with some cards that he can't cast, the burn deck's still just going to have a big advantage in this matchup.
It's a Skull Crack from Frank. He's going to put Davis down to 9. I believe Rift Bolt's going to bring him down to 6.
Yeah, and the finish line is in sight now.
It's not hard to get there. Merced's got his fingers crossed, hoping to untap and take another turn. Those fingers crossed will have to be there for about 6 turns, Davis.
Yeah.
Very long time.
Just give me 1 more turn.
Yeah.
And 4 more after that.
Frank thinking about playing a Scalding Tarn, and he's just going to pass the turn back. Not willing to do that just yet, so Merced's going to get to keep playing. He'll draw a card. He's picked up another snow-covered mountain. He'll activate the Relic. Oh, come on in. Come on in, little Scourge. Yes!
Kaboom.
In for 3. The follow-up is a Pia and Kieran Nalaar.
All right, we've got a clock going here.
Yeah. Couple of Thopters. We'll join Mom and Dad. And Boros Charm's going to bring him to 2.
That's all right. That's all right.
Fingers crossed again. Big draw step. You're dead. All right. And Boros Charm will take care of that. As Frank's Guard's going to very easily win game number 1 here against David Merced. Burn predictably up a game over Scred Red, but that's why they give you 3 games.
Yep.
That's why they give us not best of 1. It's best of 3. And this sideboard's a real doozy, so we're going to go over that. 3 Molten Rains? Probably not. Probably not.
He's on the play, though.
Okay, he could get him. He could get him.
He can't get him.
No. Three Dragon's Claws?
Now there's a Tinger.
That's a card that I would be interested in sideboarding in. 2 Goblin Dark Dwellers, 2 Shattering Spree, a Boil, real hater in the house, an Anger of the Gods, a Magus of the Moon, a Blood Moon, and a Roast. Not a lot of options, Craig.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. We might see some of these fairly mediocre cards in this matchup come in just because he doesn't have better options. He's got to take some of these cards out of his main deck. We already talked about the Blood Moons. I mean, it's funny. Magus of the Moon is just a straight up better card than Blood Moon in this matchup.
Well, it attacks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so-
got a little body.
Yeah.
But maybe we'll see the Roast come in. A lot of these cards not great for this matchup, but you know, he'll probably proactively try to mulligan to the Dragon's Claw and see if that'll get him there.
For Frank, he's got 3 Path to Exile, 3 Destructive Revelry, 2 Stony Silence, 2 Rest in Peace, 2 Deflecting Palm, a Grafdigger's Cage, a Searing Blood, and a Molten Rain of his own. The Molten Rain feature match. Does Frank need any help here?
We might see dueling Molten Rains here. It's pretty doubtful. If Frank is expecting an artifact card like, what was the Droplet?
Sun Droplet.
Sun Droplet
Yeah.
or the Dragon's Claw, a card like that, he might side in these Destructive Revelries. He might not want to sideboard at all and see if his opponent has anything like that, and then game 3 bring in an answer to a card that may or may not be there.
Yeah, I might have some interest in just resubmitting the same 60. I'm not sure if I'd be able to guess exactly what Merced has in his sideboard, though it is likely that the best way that Burn can go about beating you is via an artifact, Chalice of the Void. Or excuse me, Skredderek can beat him is Chalice of the Void, Sun Drop, like you mentioned, some sort of artifact.
Yeah.
We'll see how Frank does on a sideboard, but he's in a very good matchup here in his second round of competition today. As we are going to take a moment here as these players do shuffle up to go over the Season 2 schedule here on the SCG Tour. Season 1 does conclude today. Season 2 actually starts today with our Roanoke Open. As some players have sat down to play Modern, over 500 here in the Berglund Center in Roanoke, Virginia. A couple weeks from now, we'll go to Cincy.
Yep.
For our release weekend. Then we'll go to Atlanta for a team open. That should be a lot of fun.
You have a team for that?
I do. I'll be playing with Chad Castell and the newly married Osip Lebedovich. Congratulations to Osip.
That's a sweet team.
I'm pretty happy with that team. Should be a lot of fun.
Congratulations to Osip.
Absolutely. Syracuse for Modern, Modern in Richmond, Modern in Louisville, standard release weekend for Ixalan in Dallas. Then we'll do a Modern Open in Charlotte. We go to a couple more dates. We'll go back to Cincy for Modern, Washington, D.C. for Legacy. Regionals, we'll have a little Modern action. We'll have more details for that in a couple of months. We've got team in Baltimore and, of course, our Season 2 Invitational Weekend here in Roanoke, Virginia. Standard and Modern with a standard top 8. Playmats. Let's talk about them. Bantu the Glorified for all of our standard open and classic players. And then we really turn up the heat with Modern.
Yeah. Bantu, good.
Bantu, pretty good. Spell Pierce, a little better for our Modern open and classic players.
Home run.
And then Days, the best of the bunch
Grand Slam.
for our Legacy Open and Legacy Classic players. All these playmats, free and exclusive here during Season 2 on the SCG Tour.
Touchdown with a 2-point conversion.
Oof.
That's what that bad boy is.
That
right
is
there.
nice.
Yeah.
That is nice. Getting it all. Frank Skarren, hopefully we can take a moment to learn a little bit more about Frank, the 26-year-old from Merrick, New York. 3 open top 8s. We don't see him a ton here on the SCG Tour, but since he's joined the Metagame Gurus, we're going to see him quite a bit more. He lost 160 pounds over the past year and a half, and he's still going. Frank looks good right now.
Yeah, that's impressive.
So I'm very, very happy for him. Favorite foods are Indian sushi, smart man, and this is a bold claim. Masterclass werewolf player. Never played with him,
Yeah.
but I'm pretty sure I'm better than him.
Yeah, you can't just give yourself a label like that.
I agree. Now, it's not that Frank is bad at werewolf. I'm sure he's good, but I'm very good.
Yeah, and he probably hasn't been to Werewolf University.
Also true.
And taken their master's courses.
Also true.
Yeah.
So a little doubtful that he's a master at the game.
Some people, you know?
I know some masters at werewolf. I do. Glenn Jones,
Sure.
very, very good at werewolf. Very good. That's about it. That's about it.
That's quite the list
He's
you
the only
put together.
person I've come across that I thought was very good at werewolf.
Quite the list you put together.
Yeah. I got a high werewolf bar. Maybe Frank can cross it. I don't know. I haven't played with him before. But we haven't seen Frank for a little while because he actually took some time away from the game to get life in order. And now he's back. And he looks better than ever. And he's playing some really, really, really good Magic. He's 8-1 here. He's got out to some great starts in some SCG tours and some Grand Prix. He should probably have a Grand Prix top 8 this year. He's lost playing for top 8, I think, 3 different times.
Wow. That is actually a lot.
Yeah. I remember in Pittsburgh he lost playing for it. I think he also did in New Jersey, where you and I were. So he's been very, very close. As Merced having a little difficulty with lands here.
Not like this.
Hey, one of the things about tournament Magic, and you know this better than everyone, but you know this better than almost anybody, you got to win the matches you're supposed to win.
Sure.
Like right now, Frank is in a very, very, very good pairing. And this is the kind of matchup where it's not, the full gift. It's not a buy, but it's pretty darn close.
Yeah, this is a great matchup. And, you're also going to have, on the flip side, the bad matchups. Mm-hmm. Which Davis is obviously in the opposite, equal but opposite here. And he's having some mana problems, but that's the way it goes. Tournaments are long. There's a lot of rounds for a reason. There's 3 games instead of just 1 for a reason. And sometimes you just take your loss.
Yep. It's a lightning bolt here from Frank. That's going to trigger prowess on the Monastery Swift Spear. That will come across here for 2 points of damage. Merced's going to fall even lower. And now, if it's an Eidolon, he's in trouble. Yep. Davis is in some real trouble now. He'll draw a card. Picked up in land finally. But if he's got Dragon's Claw, it's a little late. He does have a Dragon's Claw. Like I said, it is a little late. He'll take 2. He's going to fall down to 12.
Yeah, his hand was actually very good. Double bolt with a Dragon's Claw.
Yeah, and he has an Anger of the Gods in his hand, too.
And just didn't find the second land forever. 2 turns, but it feels like forever.
Against Burn, that's forever.
Yes.
Sacred Founder's going to enter the battlefield untapped here for Frank. It's going to fall down to 13. Let's see what the follow-up is here.
Probably going to deal himself a little bit of damage here.
Yep, there's Destructive Revelry. And it does make sense here that he boarded that card in. Again, if you kind of just think about the options and the ways that Merced would sideboard against a deck like this, it's almost always going to be an artifact. Chalice, Dragon's Claw, you mentioned Sun Droplet, something else that we might be forgetting.
Yeah.
Heck, he could even go towards White Leyline.
Sure.
Yeah. And Destructive Revelry would take care of that too. So it makes total sense for Frank to bring those in as a hedge. Ooh, Dragon's Claw off the top, huh? That is not going to do it. Frank Skarren's going to very quickly win this match here over Davis Merced. 2-0. Burn is going to dismantle Skred Red, which means we'll have time to go to a backup match.
Yeah, and that's basically what we expected.